dressing room. We went over to Ruiz in the dressing room. Keep it clean, set yourself for that turn. Let's do this.
Celestino Ruiz wants them to touch him up. And they do. Joe Tessitore alongside two-division world champion Timothy Bradley and Mark Kriegel ringside. All the talk is done. It's time to fight. Benavidez, Crawford, WBO Welterweight Championship of the World.
See both guys right now trying to figure the range out, the speed, the distance.
I always find that fascinating with Bud, his ability to get around, especially with that looping right hand. Remember, he will switch stances. Benavidez no stranger to that as well. He opens up orthodox to start this evening.
See Crawford right away moving, trying to create things with his feet, using his jab in spurts. Benavidez is stocking right now with a strong, stiff jab.
Remember, they're two natural counterpunchers, and I have to think that was some of the purpose behind Benavidez egging him on and antagonizing the way he did. He wants Crawford to come forward and attack.
Crawford giving him a smile and a little nod of the head when he went with that jab to the body. Benavidez tried to catch him with that left hand as he came forward, and now drops his guard and pumps defensively for a moment. Benavidez, not just the height, but naturally the bigger man who walks around significantly north of where he fights at. He checked in at what I found to be a surprising 145 pounds now.
He's a natural welterweight since adolescence, and he's fought as high as 54.
Now the switch in stance from Crawford.
Benavidez right there landed two jabs on Crawford. Crawford trying to step in and counterpunch, but you see it's a little difficult. Benavidez is controlling the outside range with that jab while he's stocking.
Tim, you like the early work with that jab of Benavidez.
He's going to have to out-jab Terence Crawford. The jab is what sets up everything for Terence Crawford.
And then Crawford sitting on top with that now southpaw right jab as he comes in with a straight left to the body that scores here. Bud shakes that off. We're going to take just one short break here and then back to Crawford and Benavidez. Stick around. Remember, we wondered if Jose Benavidez Jr. would be too emotional, too amped up. He was in control in that first round.
I agree with you. I had him winning the round.
I like what I'm seeing right now from Benavidez. He got Crawford kind of tentative and not committing right away. Crawford, most of the time, likes to commit after that jab. And Benavidez is standing his ground and not allowing him to commit with anything after his jab.
And just for the layman out there, Tim, when you say commit with the jab, the natural counter-punching to fire it off. Fire comes at you, you come over with the counter-punch that matches up.
Absolutely, and that's how you need to do it. But Benavidez is keeping him honest with his footwork, taking a half a step back like that, and he's also firing back with his jab, making Terence Crawford tentative to fire the left hand. Terence right now is picking to choose to see if he can wear him down a little bit mentally, get him to make mistakes. Crawford trying to change levels right now. It looked like he's trying to land something over the top. There he is.
And there he goes to the body. It was a left hand to the body from Crawford. Benavidez shakes it off. He says, isn't anything.
Crawford has extreme concentration. He can concentrate for 36 minutes and figure it out in there.
There's Miss Deborah. Always an interesting watch ringside.
And that's one thing you got to do when you fight Terence Crawford. You see him fire back with his jab right there. Benavidez.
Good exchange. That last round saw the body work from Bud Crawford, and then that exchange at the end when each man just had the glancing glow, but a willingness to throw. Round number 3 here, Crawford and Benavidez.
I'm taking with Benavidez' confidence. He's never fought in a fight like this. He's never fought an opponent this good. And you can tell he believes he's supposed to be here. He says Terence Crawford ducked him. I don't find any evidence of that. But in boxing, the imagined slights are usually more important than the real ones.
Terence Crawford right now trying to get his jab working and trying to pick up the pace on Benavidez.
Jab going from there. There's another body shot that got around the left arm of Benavidez. So that's the second time Bud Crawford has scored well as a champ.
Terence Crawford coming around the guard there. Benavidez has a tendency of going to that peekaboo, that shell defense.
Tim, can Crawford also come off the jab and shoot a straight left hand?
He definitely can, but he has to be careful because Benavidez, like I said, is a great counterpuncher. He has a good right hand.
Doubles up the right hand that time, does Crawford. There he works his way to the inside and included yet another body punch. This is a good-looking third round for Bud Crawford.
I think the information is downloaded now, Tim.
Seems that way, doesn't it, Mark?
But you see that right knee of Benavidez pulling straight back, getting caught with those combinations and putting those earmuffs on. That's target practice for a guy like Terence Crawford.
The right knee is the knee that was shot. A bullet went through the femoral artery. It fractured the bone. And according to people who have worked in the Benavidez camp, Alex Ruiz, his former strength and conditioning coach, that knee is not yet ready for an opponent like Terence Crawford.
Absolutely, it's not. It's not ready.
As Benavidez concedes it will never be 100%. The question is this the right time to take the fight?
See that brace on the right knee. Right knee that's trying to support that back power and get out of the way of range from Bud Crawford, who has had so much success going to the body in this round. Taking control here.
From the champion, Bud Crawford, stepping in behind the jab. You see the peekaboo defense there, even though Benavidez shook that off. He landed those hard body shots on Benavidez. And here it is again. When you put that peekaboo defense up with those hands up, it leaves an opening for the outside to the body around the elbows of Benavidez.
Round number 4. The two undefeateds. One the best pound-for-pound fighter in the world. That's Terence Bud Crawford. Trained by Brian McIntyre, a.k.a. Bomac, who's with Bernardo.
Bomac, it seems that Terence is getting his rhythm here. What did you tell him? What do you want for round 4?
I told him to keep his hands up and go behind that double jab because Benavidez will catch the first jab, but he won't catch the second jab. After you throw the second jab, he'll try to cover up. You can get closer to him. So after you get closer to him, then you start going to the body, come back up to the head.
Say anything about the power of Benavidez?
No, ain't no power. He ain't got no power.
Thank you very much.
Now Bud just shook off a little taste of that power and stuck out his tongue at Benavidez. And it's an interesting and dynamic relationship between Bomac.
Bud Crawford trying to come in behind the jab, got caught coming straight down the middle on the way in with the right hand of Benavidez.
And you said watch out for that right hand. Tried to go to the body there, Bud went up top. Now he comes sweeping across that belt line and came up short.
This is high-level prize fighting right here. These guys are at mid-distance range, exchanging shots.
And look at the feet. Crawford's getting his right foot outside Benavidez' left.
And that is always critical when you watch the southpaw against the orthodox. Take note of that front foot of Bud Crawford. If he gets that outside position, and now all of a sudden there's a switch to southpaw with Benavidez. But that prime position, watch for it here.
Well, Benavidez was looking for some help by switching southpaw, and he's looking to just create things, different angles by switching southpaw.
I got news for you, fellas. Crawford's found his rhythm.
Oh, good right hand by Benavidez, right on the belt line where it says Crawford in pink.
That's what Benavidez needs to do. He needs to go down to Crawford's body.
Here it is. Look to your left. It's super slow-mo.
That's what
as he plants it.
It was a little low. Right on the belt line right there.
Crawford off balance that time. Wildly intriguing round number 4 between these two unbeatens here in Omaha. Remember, Benavidez says, I'm not going to change who I am. He hasn't so far. He stood right in there. Landed that good right hand to the body moments ago.
All right, Jose. Third round was good for Crawford. Fourth round, what worked for Jose Jr.?
I think all the round Junior is getting him. I don't know what you've seen in the third round. I think he's boxing him beautiful. You know, he's making miss. You know, he can't feel the punch. And look, he's getting hit. Look at that, you know. But, yeah, of course, you got to go with the crowd, whatever you guys say. But I think he's doing really beautiful. He's going to the body. He's catching him with those straight right hands. Look at that. How can you tell me that? Look. But, of course, you know, you're in his hometown. Everybody, every time he touches a little bit, people makes it seem like it's big. But when he gets touched, nobody says nothing. It's like everybody's dead. But we're doing good. We're so happy. We got to maintain that jab. We got to try to go a little bit more straight punches to the body and make him get frustrated. You know, the good thing about this guy, he's not running, you know. That makes it easy. Maybe because Junior is not following him, you know. So hopefully he can keep like that. I think that's we're happy with everything that we're seeing right now.
Thank you very much. You got a good read on how the situation is going.
Sure did. And not running makes a good night for you, the viewer, and these fans here. And by the way, in terms of the way the crowd reacts, they very much knew what they were getting themselves into, so much so to the point that Jose Jr. said, hey, this fight's not going a distance. I can't let that happen here in his hometown.
A little politicking by Jose Sr. there. Although, I think this has been an excellent round so far for Junior. And that right hand was a decisive blow in the previous round, the right hand to the body.
But Crawford right now is bringing his attention down to the body of Benavidez and having some success over the top with the right hook from both guys.
Benavidez was searching for that right hand to the body again. That time, he caught him with a short right hand as Crawford came in.
See, Crawford is right in front of Benavidez. Crawford should pick up his feet and use a little bit more angles and confuse Benavidez.
Perhaps a better test than many imagined for the great Bud Crawford. A guy who sits number 1 atop so many pound-for-pound fighter in the world list. The guy who was number 1 pound-for-pound, retired, now works for us, taking on the best in the world, Terence Bud Crawford. You heard Andre say, real championship fights don't get started until after the 6th round. So here comes that halfway mark, round number 6. Let's look at the CompuBox numbers as they're being tallied tonight. Total power punches. Remember, we mentioned the percentage of Crawford typically at 48%. He's tracking at 39% right now. Benavidez a tip lower at 38%.
This is more than most people imagine from Jose Benavidez, but it's not more than Jose Benavidez imagined as a kid when he was sparring with Manny Pacquiao, Amir Khan, Shane Mosley. He was 16, 17 years old. And he was the prodigy of, he was supposed to be the prodigy of this division.
Just pause and think about that for a moment. He was sparring Manny Pacquiao at 16 years old.
He even sparred me.
What was that like, Tim?
You know, like I said, he's a great counterpuncher. He'll wait on you. He'll use that jab occasionally, but he'll wait on you and he'll fire some combinations back at you.
But his sense of himself, as a fighter was based on those sparring sessions. He's never been in with anyone like that, except for when he was a kid.
Interesting moment right there as Bud came in and then the right hand came in at a downward angle. Good exchange right in the center of the ring.
And there's a difficulty basing your sense of yourself on sparring, also something that happened almost a decade ago.
Right now, Benavidez is having some success.
He is with that right hand, Tim.
Straight right hand, and also, like the champ said, he's catching Crawford on the way out. Crawford had a tendency of doing so, getting off and coming right back.
Three-punch combination moments ago by Crawford that spiked this crowd here. You saw him double up that left hand. Now he gets right into the kitchen of Benavidez. And he let him go again. This has been a good round here. Round number 6. Three-punch combination and another right hand to the body from Bud Crawford.
Pick him up, pick him up, pick him up.
End of 6 for the welterweight title. Joe, Tim, Mark, and Bernardo here ringside. They are on their feet in Omaha. It has been a very good first half of this world title fight. And now, as Andre Ward said, this is when it really happens. In fact, let's bring in the scorecard of the former 2-division world champion. As Ward has it 58-56 for Crawford.
Crawford right now controlling the outside. That's why he's able to land these shots. The lead foot getting outside of the left foot of Benavidez.
And that gives him position to do just that.
Yes.
To land the straight left hand. Here's David Benavidez, undefeated himself. Jose's brother, so talented at 168 pounds.
We see a lot of boxing dads who have sired one champion, but to my knowledge, there's none that have sired 2.
It's like the movement of Crawford has Benavidez standing still.
I think that Crawford's fighting a little up, but in terms of stamina, it looks like Benavidez has less.
Bernardo has been monitoring both corners. What can you tell us, Bernie?
Well, Benavidez is doing exactly what his father doesn't want him to do. He wanted him to use a jab in this round, to not step straight back, to be more active. And Bomat called it the round before. He said, I see Benavidez breathing hard, and I think Bud is in a great place.
He came in, and Bud came at him. Final 30 seconds here of round 7.
You see there's no jab. Now Benavidez is willing to cover up right in front of Terence Crawford. That's a huge mistake.
He's tired.
He is tired.
And Absolutely. If you do that, you're going to have offense coming right at you.
It was from all the body shots Terence Crawford did early on.
You can see Jose Sr. and Jr. trying to gather themselves after a very fine-looking 7th round from Bud Crawford, Tim.
Here it is. Crawford right here, making a miss, making a pay short. Left hand right there.
This is what we've seen all night long, the facial expressions.
Yeah, you know the facial expression just means that, hey, you're getting to me. That's all that means. You're getting to me.
If you look at the facial expressions, no one's landed a good punch.
Let me tell you something. Bud has landed a few good ones, especially the right hand to the body and that left hand moments ago. Round 8. Is this the start of where Crawford takes control?
I'll tell you what I do see from the facial expressions between rounds. I don't see the same brio, the same confidence, the same type of willingness to attack from Benavidez that I did earlier in the fight.
Covering up like that doesn't work out so well when you're in with a pound-for-pound great.
You become an instant punching bag. But you see the fundamentals of Terence Crawford
CompuBox numbers, you see them now, and you see the advantage that Crawford is starting to put together. Total punches outlanding him 93 to 63, and that gap looks like it's going to continue here.
This is the complete takeover round for Terence Crawford, landing his best stuff to the head and body of Benavidez.
It's also something we've seen for a while now. It's not just the facial expressions, but Benavidez's feet are flat.
Fatigue.
Noticeable how it's changed. You know who else notices it? The guy opposite him. Benavidez comes in tonight with 18 knockouts among his 27 wins. Trying to put that right hand to the body against Crawford. Remember, he had success earlier tonight with that right hand to the body.
That's the bolo shot Benavidez is trying to land.
Goes low, and then it sweeps across. Crawford, three-punch exchange, including a left hand that splits the guard of Benavidez.
And of course, Benavidez shakes his head. You know, Benavidez obviously had a lot to prove tonight.
Benavidez really just stalking right in front of Crawford. Now he tries to put a combination together, and Crawford did the smart thing by...
Angelo trying to pop that jab off the hip. Crawford comes in, left hand, right to the body. Good exchange to close out the eighth. What answer does Jose Benavidez Jr. have now against Bud Crawford in front of 13,323 local fans here in Omaha? Started boxing at age 7. For many years, he ran with the wrong crowd. Turned his life around, dedicated himself to simply be the best, and that's exactly what he is, the welterweight champion of the world.
Benavidez right now trying to time Terence Crawford coming in with the right hand. You see him sitting on that back foot right now, trying to draw him in.
In answer to Joe's question, is that right hand coming in?
Every single time Benavidez put those earmuffs on, Terence Crawford takes advantage of that. He worked those hands. Not a lot of shots landing, but he lands when he goes down to the body. He comes around the elbows of Benavidez.
Andre Ward with an even 6th round, but still Crawford up 78-74. Many ringside have it 5 rounds to 3. Crawford.
Look at the beautiful work by Crawford, changing levels, going downstairs to be able to land some combinations up top like that. Right hook right there, and spinning around on the angle and not get hit.
He can't match his legs. He can't match the feet.
Look at the feet. How he just got out of range right there. Angles out right there. Terence Crawford.
He made a point before. That jab looks good when he throws it, but he's taking rounds off from that jab.
Honestly, it's the knee. I believe it's the knee. Nice shot right there from Benavidez. Catching Crawford as he pulls straight back. You're not going to win rounds like this, Benavidez.
In the ring against the best in the world, and now searching for an answer. He talked so much, hoping to draw Crawford into a brawl. Round number 10.
Watch your feet, guys.
You know, I spent 2 months investigating that shooting, and nobody gets shot right above the knee walking his dog. Actually, it was a cat too. It was an exotic $10,000 cat at midnight in Phoenix. Someone targeted him, and he knows it. Just doesn't know who.
Right now he's got to worry about being targeted by Bud Crawford, who's stepping right to him as he covers up against the ropes, and Crawford's going to have some options. Places a right hand to the body. Probing now with a body shot again. Says, come at me. Got to be willing to fire back, though.
Right now, he's looking to time Terence Crawford with a right hand.
World-class fighter. Master craftsman. Another check in what the corners are saying. Here's Bernardo.
All right, in the corner of Terence Crawford, it wasn't Bomac with the instructions. Miss Deborah looked at Bud Crawford, said, Bud, can you hear me? He looked over, he said, last round, finish this.
So Mom is getting involved.
Mom's always involved.
Isn't that the truth?
Step back. Well, you see the inconsistency of Benavidez's attack. He's standing right in front of Terence Crawford right now, not really using his jab. I want to see Terence Crawford turn it up a little bit more on Benavidez. He's there to be hit. Nice stinging body shot right there from Crawford.
Put that left hand right to the body. He wants to try to draw him in again. Wasn't successful earlier in doing so. Let's see what Benavidez comes up with here as Crawford looks to unload. Pushes him back. A right hand came with it from Benavidez.
This is exactly what Crawford needs to do. He needs to stay close, work the body, block and counter.
Benavidez with an offensive output. Crawford comes right back. Short left hook from Benavidez. Benavidez a little more willing here in round number 10. And Crawford always that way. That left hand by Terence Crawford in the last round, champ.
You see Benavidez pulling back. Cardinal rule, don't pull straight back. And Terence Crawford recognizing that and throws a sweeping left hand to land on Benavidez.
6 minutes for Crawford to hold on to that lofty perch he sits on. World champion, pound for pound elite. In 6 minutes for Benavidez to try to find the answer. Look at the power punches now. Crawford comes into this round having landed 100 of 238 thrown. And that percentage now moves north to 42%.
We've talked before about Crawford basically torturing guys who've antagonized him, who've made it personal. He's not keeping Benavidez around because he wants to hurt him. It's Benavidez' chin that's keeping him up.
Chin in the heart. Chin in the heart of Benavidez.
Looking to place that right hand again is Benavidez. He is taking steps forward at least here in these championship rounds.
And that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to walk down Terence and he needs to let his combinations fly. You can't throw one punch at a time against Terence Crawford. He's too smart for that.
Feet that are underneath great skill, that get them in and out. They dart, they dodge, they create offense, and they provide elite defense. As now Benavidez looks to wrap up for a moment as Crawford came in.
Step back.
Maybe looking at a go-for-broke 12th round from the undefeated challenger as Crawford brings it a little bit. Crowd on their feet here in Omaha. They love the finish that they want to see.
Crawford doing a good job and recognizing that Benavidez is trying to counterpunch everything he does. So what he doing? He's sweeping with the check, right hook, and turning Benavidez in spots, which is smart by Terence Crawford. There it is again.
Sent off balance.
Check hook.
They touch him up for the 12th and final round. Remember yesterday at the weigh-in, what almost touched the chin of Benavidez was the bare knuckles of Crawford. And now he's been tagged plenty. He said it's his time to come here and take care of business and prove everybody wrong. Well, time is of the essence. He trails well behind on the scorecards. Crawford is easily in control, and he's got 2.5 minutes to try to make that dream come true to Benavidez. Crawford gets himself out of that blue corner. How much does Benavidez want it?
Well, if he wants to be the champion he always saw himself as, the champion he was told he would become, he's got to sell out right now.
Got to risk everything, right, Tim?
Got to go for it. And he is. He's trying. He's trying to stop Terence and put combinations together to the head and body.
But where is that body shot we saw in the 4th round?
It was the right hand that he landed then. Been absent since.
Crawford's always going to be smart and always concentrated. Every single round. And he's showing that he's more fundamentally sound than Benavidez.
Miles ahead.
I don't think Benavidez has done himself a disservice.
And not at all. Not at all. First half of this fight, highly competitive.
Terence Crawford got him backed up now.
Final minute. Crawford in front of the home fans.
Sitting on the ropes and shaking his head is not how he wants to end this fight, however.
Oh! Crawford gets him! My, oh my! What a shot! Half a minute to finish him awaits. Let's see how he goes about it. Best in the world. At home. Is he the finisher they all expect him to be? He is. What a huge right hand, and he has done it. How do you want a champion to act? How do you want them to close a show? What should it look like to deliver on everything you say? That 12th round is what it should look like. Shakur Stevenson, who had a show of his own earlier tonight and told this crowd what Bud would do. Bud delivered.